Hey everyone, welcome to Whispers of Turkish Stars. Settle in, because tonight we're diving into the whispers everyone is passing around and the quiet glances that have started a storm. Don't forget to subscribe and share if you love following the real stories behind the scenes. Just as the final days of December tick away, a new rumor has taken aim at the heart of a bustling TV set, and the names at the center of it need no introduction: Cemre, Arda and Gökberk Yıldırım. Known for their polished performances and careful approach to their public image, the two are now being talked about not for the scripts they memorize, but for a closeness that reportedly started the moment cameras began rolling on their latest project. People who've been there from day one say the connection was obvious. At first, it looked like the kind of professional bond that helps scenes breathe. It made rehearsals smoother and their timing nearly telepathic. But as the days wove into weeks, that neat line between work and something more tender began to blur in the eyes of those watching. As one crew member put it quietly over coffee, the way Cemre and Gökberk drifted toward one another between takes felt less like routine and more like habit. What set the gossip machine at full speed wasn't just the shared smiles or the low-voiced conversations beside the monitors. It was the sighting that came at the end of a long shoot, when a handful of staffers whispered they saw Cemre and Gökberk leaving the lot in the same car. There's no photograph, no video, only a handful of witnesses who insist they saw what they saw, and in this industry, sometimes that's all it takes. The quiet murmur turned into a crescendo overnight, echoing through dressing rooms and lighting rigs alike. And apparently, the energy around them has changed the feel of the entire set. Those who know Cemre well say her mood lately carries a softness that hasn't gone unnoticed: fewer sharp edges, fewer hurried exits, a kind of calm you don't fake under long hours. As for Gökberk, the word is that he's been showing up with an easy smile even when the schedule is brutal, the kind of contentment that makes the grind feel manageable. One assistant director described it as an invisible lift that seems to follow them both. Still, if you're looking for a confirmation from the pair, you won't find it. The people closest to them emphasize that they've become even more protective of their private lives. There's talk that someone, somewhere up the ladder, reminded the crew not to volunteer opinions about anything that doesn't involve call times or scene numbers. The caution has only fanned the fascination. The more carefully the set guards its secrets, the more loudly the outside world speculates. Online, the story spread like ink in water. By midweek, message boards were flooded. Some fans, watching every shared frame of theirs like a detective, insist they're perfect for each other, adding that the chemistry on screen feels different, warmer, unscripted at the edges. Others counter that they're professionals, full stop, and that a powerful scene doesn't need romance to feel real. Old interview snippets earned new life as people searched for comments that could retroactively look like breadcrumbs. A laugh here, a sidelong answer there, suddenly everything became a clue. With the new year looming, eyes are fixed on two names poised to dominate the first headlines of 2025. Will they shut down the talk with a clear denial? Will they post a quiet photo that says everything without a caption? Or will silence be the answer that keeps everyone guessing until the first red carpet of the year? Fueling the fire is a sliver of alleged insider information about their holiday week. People who claim to know the schedule say Cemre and Gökberk's filming days began to mirror each other more than usual as the year wound down. Some swear there were small adjustments that made it easier for their paths to cross. Meanwhile, voices attached to the production say it's all been blown out of proportion, that the changes were standard and logistical, nothing more than the usual dance of scenes and stand-ins. Two stories, one timeline, and no way to prove which is true. Their circle of friends, it seems, is whispering too. The pair reportedly gravitate toward the same gatherings, not drifting apart even when rooms get crowded and music rises. Yet curiously, they skipped appearing together at a recent high-profile event where both had been expected. Was it coincidence? Or a deliberate decision to let curiosity do the talking? Some gossip commentators argue that the avoidance, rather than quashing the rumors, actually feeds them, because in the world of celebrity, absence can feel louder than a public embrace. Cemre's silence has tongues wagging as well. She has previously preferred, when necessary, to speak plainly about boundaries and move on. But this time she has opted for stillness, no clarifying caption, no pointed post. Gökberk, too, has kept his social presence mostly filtered through work announcements and set photos that reveal nothing beyond what you can already see on television. The quiet has sparked new theories. Are they stepping back on purpose? Are they letting the story write itself until they decide how they feel about it? As always, a debate brewed about motives. Is this nothing more than the whirlwind of a set romance that flickers under bright lights and then burns out when the clapperboard stops? Or is the closeness the real thing, the kind that doesn't owe anyone an explanation? Skeptics suggest that the timing is convenient end-of-year talk that bumps up interest just as a series hits its stride. But the set leaks and those eyewitness claims keep nudging fence-sitters toward belief, or at least toward the idea that where there's this much smoke, it's not all fog machine. Whispers from inside say the script has started to flex in response. Nothing drastic, nothing that would give the game away, just subtle rewrites to lean into what the camera is already capturing. Scenes linger a second longer, a line lands with a resonance that wasn't in last week's version. And the audience has noticed. Clips of their emotional moments have gone viral, and the comments swing between two camps, those who say the heat is too precise to be accidental, and those who insist you're simply witnessing two disciplined performers who know exactly how to pull a viewer's heartstring. Both actors, of course, have weathered scrutiny before. People in Cemre's inner circle insist she's wary of allowing private tenderness to become public property again. Those who know Gökberk say he values quiet even when life is loud, that he would rather endure speculation than spend pages addressing something unfinished or fragile. Their shared refusal to rush into statements has people asking whether silence itself is their strategy, a shield against turning something delicate into a spectacle. The timing cannot be ignored. Year-end buzz is a magnet for attention, and the industry always seems to offer a story right when everyone's making lists and resolutions. Still, Cemre, Arda and Gökberk Yıldırım are not just any names thrown together to fill a headline. When two stars with this level of intensity are mentioned in the same breath, ordinary gossip starts to feel like something else. What's unmistakable is the ripple effect. The rumored closeness, born on the set, has seeped beyond the walls of the studio into cafes where assistants trade notes, into stylists' chairs where looks are fine-tuned as questions swirl, into group chats that ping late into the night. You can feel a collective breath being held while fans wait for a photograph, a caption, a telltale glance at an after-party, a moment that either ends the guessing game or lights it brighter. Even the smallest gestures are being dissected. A jacket draped across a chair between takes, an unguarded laugh that lingers a heartbeat too long, a bag carried out to a car as the sky turns the color of iron. On some days, people on set say it is all perfectly ordinary, nothing that can't be chalked up to long hours and shared workload. On other days, it looks like the beginning of a story written in margins you can't quite see. In truth, one sentence from either of them could reroute every narrative currently circling their names. A denial would send commentators back to their corners, while a confirmation would ensure that the first days of the new year belong to them. For now, they give nothing away. They let the performances carry the light while their off-camera choices stay behind an unspoken curtain. And there's a reason the scenes feel different lately. Watch closely and you'll notice that their eye contact lingers as if there's a memory attached to it, that their pauses are charged with a fullness that's hard to choreograph. Editors, so the rumor goes, have found themselves choosing takes where something unplanned flickers across a face and, once seen, can't be unseen. Whether art is imitating life or life is borrowing from art is a question no one can answer without knowing the truth they're not telling. Meanwhile, publicists tread carefully, saying little and promising less. Friends, when pressed, change the subject with a practiced smile. Those who stand by the monitors are polite, professional, and unforthcoming. The only consistent thread is the sense that something meaningful is unfolding, either the start of a romance or the forging of a rare creative partnership that feels intimate because it requires trust at a level few people ever witness. When the countdown clocks start appearing on screens, it becomes impossible to separate the ticking of the calendar from the rhythm of the rumor. Viewers wonder where Cemre and Gökberk will spend the final hours of the year. Will they ring it in with the cast? Will they stay home, post nothing, and let the quiet do the work? Or will they step out together and answer 100 questions without speaking a word? Whatever happens, their names are already threaded through the first big story of 2025. If they deny it, people will argue about tone and phrasing, parsing whether a denial leaves room for later change. If they confirm it, the focus will shift to what comes next, how they'll navigate scenes that may mirror their reality, how they'll protect what is theirs in a business that makes privacy rare. For now, we're left with moments and murmurs. A car door shutting at a late hour. A look exchanged that a camera almost missed. Scheduling grids that line up just so. Rewrites that play to strengths and the subtle tilt of a script toward what the audience already feels. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's everything. Maybe it's a season where the lines blur and then settle. What's certain is this: the buzz started on set, and it has become the conversation that refuses to quiet down. In a matter of days, a single decision, an interview, a photo, a joint appearance could rewrite the narrative entirely. Until then, we watch, we wonder, and we wait for the first sunrise of the new year to show us whether this is a fleeting rumor or the beginning of something real for Cemre, Arda and Gökberk Yıldırım. That's our story for tonight from Whispers of Turkish Stars. If you've been holding your breath through every whisper, exhale with us, hit subscribe, and share this video. We'll be right here when the next clue drops.